Hello everyone again. If you saw the first video, we went over greasing the under gears and the oiling points there. Once again, I apologize if these videos aren't 110%. I will most likely redo them. Had some illness going on, and so where it would be easier if someone was holding the camera and following through, I'm doing this all by myself. So, like I said before, I will definitely take pictures of some different manuals and some different oiling points so that way you guys have them as a hard copy to follow along. I like to have that so, you know, when I go to oil, I don't always have to worry about having a phone or a computer nearby, but at least the hard copy piece of paper will fit conveniently in my featherweight box and be there when I need it. So once again, I generally start from the top and work in a U shape pattern. So right up here on the top of the uptake lever, there is a small spot to oil. So you'll oil there in front where this screw is, and then directly behind there, there's another little indentation for a drop of oil. Then going straight down, this particular manual actually shows putting a drop of oil here, and for whatever reason I thought it was here, and that's not the case. So right back in here, you'll see where this shaft goes all the way down back behind here, and this is what the needle going up and down. So you'll want to oil right here because that's going to lubricate the up and down motion. Be careful though with putting too much oil because it will leak on the outer portion of the shaft and could quite possibly go onto the thread and onto your fabric. Then here is another oiling point right straight in the front. And this oiling point here says about every 6 months. So you don't have to always, overly lubricate this point here. But I have a tendency to hit it every time that I'm oiling. Then here, because again we have this shaft here that's responsible for the presser foot. So here, right back here. And once I do that, I like to kind of move, and you'll go up here and here. I like to move this up and down to really work that lubrication in there. So you'll hit the spot right here and then directly above right here. And then work that in. Then right up here, you'll go directly behind. This looks like a huge, ginormous screw. It's kind of hard to see that because of the shaft. But there's an oiling point directly right up there, so you'll hit that. You, once again, only want to use 1 drop of oil. You don't want to use too much because, it could leak down and get onto other odds and ends. So the next part that we're going to do is going to be the top of the machine. And there's only a very few amount of oiling points up here. So I'm just going to take the camera with me and show you these. So when I come up here, there's actually an oiling point right here. So you'll put a drop of oil there, a drop of oil here, and this oiling point here is also the one that you'll put your thread stand in. And then you come over here, there's a spot for a drop of oil here, and then they have you put a drop of oil right here. It's kind of hard to see this. And then a drop of oil right here, and then I always place a drop of oil periodically in the bobbin winder. You don't need to do it every single time. And I'm going to try to do this one-handed. We'll see how well this kind of works out. When you lubricate the gear, you want to do it exactly the same way that we showed with the under gear. And basically you're just going to take your motor lubricant and put a half a pea size amount on there, and then I just kind of wipe it in the opposite direction, and then quarter turn, and I'm probably gonna need some more motor oil or motor grease. You don't need a whole lot, just enough to kind of lubricate the gears in there. These ones were pretty dry as a bone. So just kind of spin that to work that in there. And I also like to kind of wipe it off the sides once I've spun it around, so that way it's not gumming up the hole inside that I had just cleaned. So now that is done, and I will show you the next portion, which is the motor points on the back.